it's hard, and take it step by step, and like it brings us to our last point really, because it's like your brain is a muscle, and so you've built these muscles and these neural pathways that have led you to wherever you are right now. Wherever you are right now, every choice you've ever made, every action you've ever taken, every thought you've ever thought brought you right here, right now. So if you want to get somewhere else, you got to start training that muscle.
Yeah, and recondition it. Because I mean, even if you look at like communication, we all communicate with everyone else every single day. And we're never taught how to communicate other than our parents and our siblings and our teachers. So if we don't, and like, you know, as a kid, and it's like, if you don't like the way your parents communicate, if you don't like the way your siblings communicate, how are you ever going to change if you don't put new information into your brain?
Ooh, that's such a good thing. I never really thought of that. Like your parents, your siblings, and your teachers really do teach you how to communicate.
And if you don't
if they
like
weren't
that,
great role models,
like how are you supposed to be any different if you don't know any new information? And so giving yourself new information and knowing, you know, different ways how to express your feelings. And, you know, if someone was always, you know, attacking you and you always felt defensive, then that's how you're going to be in every situation after that. Someone presses you, you get defensive. Instead of really like listening to what's going on, you have a reaction
because your
based
parents
on your programming.
Or your teachers or whatever
based on your
attacked
programming.
You. Yeah, that's such a good point, because it does carry on. It carries on with you for the rest of your life, how you learned to communicate and how you learned to respond to the environment that you were given.
Yeah.
It's very natural for you to always respond that way forever, unless you intentionally
and
try to respond
it's very intentional, and it's
differently.
hard, and it's new, and it's like
Uncomfortable.
it's super uncomfortable to try to be like, wait a second, it's like this, you know, programming that's just there, and you're like trying to break it, and it takes a while. Like it's not something that you try one time and you're just like, you know, fixed.
They
That's
say
just
it
not
takes
how it
like
happens.
28 days to even create the habit.
Yeah,
And then after
I've heard
that, you have to like still implement it.
Yeah.
But it does like form a pathway, at least at that point where like when you come to that split, you can choose the opposite path. You know what I mean? Like it's more relative in your brain at that point. But like, yeah, I mean, you're not going to do something once and then automatically just every time that trigger comes up, you're walking down the faith path instead of the fear path.
Like
it doesn't
not
just
what
work
happens,
that way.
especially when like things are quick and it's like a quick, you know, argument. It's like your factory settings are gonna kick in to how you respond to things.
Yeah.
But if you're just letting it and you just want to live that way, then like I don't know what to tell you.
I've been really working on this with myself because I'm single now and I've been dating again. But yeah, I think I get like easily flattered. Like someone can love bomb me really easily and I will fall for it.
Yeah, that's tough.
And so I've really been working on like being patient and like not over texting and waiting to like hang out to have the hard conversations and not like if I like match with someone on Hinge or something, you know, like I don't want to have a week or two of text messages where we're texting all day for 2 weeks before we meet. Like I don't even know if I like you enough to text you for 2 weeks. And like I used to be that way, and I'm just trying not to be that way, because it's like, let's just meet, let's feel each other's energy. If you know, we end up liking each other, great, and we can text some more. But like up until that point, I don't need to be like obsessed with someone because of the way they look on an app, or you know, because of the way they're texting me. It's like you can't feel any energy that way, and you don't know if you guys have a real connection at all. So I've been really just working on rewiring, like getting excited about someone and like what that means to me. Like just because I'm excited about them and they seem like a good person, that's great, but like just take your time. And I think that's what happened in my last relationship. We both got excited and we both just thought we found the one, and so we really rushed into things. And so I definitely learned from that to just like, you know, just take things slow. If it's for your forever person, what's the rush?
Yeah, if they're your forever person, take your like you should treat everybody as if they're your forever person.
Yeah.
Take it slow, you know, really get to know them. Like get to know their reaction. And it's like me being in a new relationship, I'm like excited to get into an argument because I know it'll be a good argument.
Yeah.
And I know like it'll bring us closer together. Like I just think that like I'm excited because I feel like it'll make us understand each other more. And that's crazy because I've never felt that way. But I feel like it's the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. It's very new. But it's like the one day that we do get into an argument, I know it'll be a great fucking argument. And we're both going to be like, damn, okay, like I see you. And like I'm excited for that.
I really think that's how it's gonna be too.
Yeah.
And I think like how you do argue in relationships does say a lot. Like as long as you guys are respectful of each other, hear each other's opinion, and I feel like everything that you've told me about this man, like he would be that way.
Yeah.
So it would be a good argument. Like you guys would be like, well, this made me feel like this, and he'd be like, well, I
didn't mean to make you feel that way. Like I'm sorry. Like this is how I felt, and
it would be like good communication style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that because I feel like I've, created this version of myself that's able to accept that type of love, and I want to give that type of love because I always felt like in relationships I was kind of the one that was giving more than I was receiving, and that was something really big about me getting into a new relationship. I didn't think I was going to be in a relationship for a long time because I thought that what I was asking for was too much. But I'm proof that my standards aren't too much because I live up to my own standards.
Absolutely. And never, I've had like feelings of that as well where like, ugh, am I just like asking for too much? But realistically, I have met people, and like you said, you're the standard for that. Like if
and
I
your
can
friends do it. Like,
if I can live up to my standards, if my friends can live up to my standards, why would I not expect there to be a man that can supersede those standards? Like meet them. You should be better than what I expect. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think we do tend to like sell ourselves short, but yeah, like you said, if you're a loving, caring, awesome person, you're great in relationships, like you take care of your significant other, then why would you settle for someone who's not at least you?
Yeah, I don't know. But you just get so blinded.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
You get so blinded, and like to take a step back and realize that like these are the things that happened, in past relationships. And I don't think any relationship is something to like regret, because if you learn from it,
of course,
then A+. If you learn from it, even no matter how bad the relationship was, no matter what happened, if you learn from it and you're growing and you're choosing better for yourself, you should celebrate that.
I agree. I think relationships are such a beautiful tool. And I was just listening to this thing the other day. This guy I follow on TikTok, he had this beautiful thing. He does this thing where he's like, I asked God the other day, like he's talking about in meditations that he's in, and he asks God certain questions. And he asked God about soulmates. And he was saying how God laughed and he said, oh, everyone gets tripped up over having this one soulmate. But at the end of the day, you came to Earth with a soul tribe, and you guys were born in different places with different backgrounds and different lives to live. But you know when you find each other. And you may be friends or lovers or try to love each other and fail at loving each other and all of these things. But the end goal of your soul tribe is to bring you home and to bring you back into who you are and to help you see for you and to remember where you came from and like where your soul is from. And so yeah, I just think it's a beautiful thing. And I sent it to like one of my exes too, because I'm like, you were this for me, and like maybe this didn't work out, but you helped me see myself more than anyone ever has in this whole life. And so like I'm just so grateful that you were like a part of my soul tribe and like a part of that journey, because like,
and I don't think there's one soulmate. I absolutely just don't think that's true, because I have friend soulmates, I have lover soulmates. My dog was my soulmate. She just passed away, and so she was like a version of a soulmate for me.
Lexi.
R.I.P. my little floof. But like I think there's so many different ways that can show up in your life, and you're limiting yourself by thinking it can only be one person.
And you're also putting a lot of pressure on that one person.
You are. Like one person doesn't have to fill your whole cup. Yeah. You can have a cup, and all these people can grow into your cup to make it a full cup. Like you should never put the pressure on one person to fill your entire cup, because it's unfair to them and it's unfair to you.
Yeah. 1,000%. And that's going to cause a lot of like disdain and just like resentment in your relationship, because you're like expecting all of these things from one person. It's like, well, maybe you should have some friends or, other people, a dog or other things in your life that bring you that fulfillment. I don't need to fill every single thing that you need.
Exactly.
Like,
and I think that's hard for people to understand, is that there's so many different ways that people can show up for you, and one person doesn't have to show up for you in every single way and do every single thing right. So we covered Anxiety versus intuition, which I think is just such a powerful subject, being able to feel your body. Anxiety is coming from a place of fear. It's your nervous system being uncomfortable. Intuition is a calm, grounding, not rushed feeling. You don't feel rushed to take action in intuition. You are calm and in it. When it's anxiety, you're rushed. I have to do this right now or this isn't going to work. Your body is in
fight or flight
mode. That's what anxiety is. And to be able to see the difference is really beneficial, I think, because intuition is a knowing. Like, the truth requires no belief. You don't need to believe it. You just know in your body.
The truth requires no belief. I haven't heard that.
Terrence McKenna.
I love Terrence McKenna.
Yeah.
I love that because that is so true. And I've even gotten arguments, like, with my most recent ex, honestly, about certain ways that I think, and I'm very scientific. Like, I have a degree in biochemistry. Like, I think very logically, and I do love when science backs up what I believe. But there are so many times in life where I know something to be true, and then later I find the science that backs it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's very different to actually just know something. It's not about believing. It's not about having the proof on the paper. Like, you don't always need to have evidence to know that something's true. And it's inherent. They call it like Akashic records, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes you need to move forward to get the clarity that you're seeking. You have to go through with it to get the clarity. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in this area of what's going to happen. But you have to make a decision. And then it's going to be, was that right? Was that wrong? But you won't get there unless you move forward.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of people do get very, very stuck and would rather just like not make a decision in fear of making the wrong one. Yeah. And I personally just am not afraid to fail. Like, I've never been like, oh, I don't want to try that because what if this happens and what if this happens? It's like, I'm just going to do it. If I fail, then I'll learn something and I'll have new tools in my toolbox and it'll be fine. Yeah. But there's people, like my mom, who are just constantly in fear of like everything. And instead of making any progress forward, she just gets further and further back. Yeah. And it's like, it's really hard for me to wrestle. And I wonder sometimes how we ended up so like different. But I've been really working with her lately. She's been very sober lately and it's been very wonderful. And so I've been able to actually have, real conversations and try to just figure out why her mind is stuck in this. And I'm like, just, do this one little thing. And I keep giving her advice. And she's been doing little things that I've helped her. And I think that helps so much to just, just do like we were saying in the beginning. It's like, you don't have to make this big life change all in one day. You're never gonna actually make a change if you
setting yourself up for failure doing that. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but if you make one little change and then that fails, whatever, you can find a different avenue. If you're not failing big, then it's okay if you fail small.
Well, I think failure has such a bad connotation because failing is a good thing because that's how you learn. Yeah. I saw this thing, I think it was on like Facebook, where it was like a parenting thing because I follow all these accounts because I have like nieces and whatever about like how to communicate with them. And at the dinner table every night, instead of saying like what went right today, it was how did you fail today? Ooh. And they celebrated their failures, because that is what made them move forward. And I love that because then the children don't see failure as a bad thing. They see failure as an obstacle that they get to overcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great frame of reference to teach your children. Yeah. See, this is what we should be teaching children in schools.
Yes.
We should be teaching children how to understand their feelings, process their feelings, breathe, imagine. Yeah. I was listening to something, Jay Shetty, I think, was talking about this, and he was saying how he went to monk school, and he was there. The monk, the head guy, was showing him through the children, where the children come learn. They come at 5 years old. It's just like kindergarten, that's when they start learning. And the first thing they're taught is how to breathe. And it's like, whoa, what a concept. Crazy. Yeah. What a concept. Crazy. Why do we not learn real
Our school
skills?
System is so fucked. We don't learn anything useful.
We don't learn
anything useful.
Yeah, we don't learn anything useful. We don't even learn how to do our taxes.
Y = mx + b? I haven't used that shit once since I graduated. Once.
Y = mx + b is crazy. Yeah. But I mean, never have I ever used it. I was just seeing something how back in the day, the teachers, when calculators came out, the teachers protested against using calculators because they thought that kids would like not be able to think for themselves, I guess, if they had a calculator. And like, remember when we were in school, the teachers were like, well, you're never just gonna have a calculator on you all the time. And it's like,
I always have a calculator.
my phone is always
I always have a calculator.
I always have a calculator. So it's like
I'm never just like working out a math problem. That's not a thing.
Never why would, I mean, unless you're working like in a field that you're doing like chemical engineering or something and you need math, like cool, great. Yeah. But like, why do I need to know calculus?
I know.
And I was so proud when I was in high school. I'm like, I'm in AP Calc.
I was not.
But yeah, school is funny. Anyways, you know, focus on faith over fear. I think that's the real message of this whole thing, because fear comes in so many ways into our lives, and it creates a lot of anxiety or depression or holding us back from what we're really trying to achieve. And I think in our hearts, we know what we want.
Focus on a calm nervous system. And
whatever brings you that.
Yeah, whatever brings you that. When you are flustered and you are, you know, anxious, listen to it, but don't be it. You should strive for things that put you in a comfortable nervous system, in a comfortable regulation. That's what you should focus on. Things that give you that.
Yeah, and it's not about feeling super high as much as it's not feeling about super low. It's about feeling like you can, as much as you keep closer to center, the more it's easier to get back to center. So if you're reaching these high highs and these low lows, it takes you a long time to get back up to the middle point, right? But if you just experience a little bit of high and you're like, okay, that was great, a little low, okay, I can learn from that, and you keep it more towards the center, then you're not so like causing all of these things going on in your head and your emotions and all of that. And another point is just like, use your feelings as a navigation tool. Don't identify with them.
Feelings are a tool to show you how this situation is like making you feel. It's not like, I heard this too, that like anger specifically, like you can't see your own reflection in boiling water and to like never react when you're angry because it's not actually the real version of yourself.
Very true.
And I love that too.
Very true. You can't see yourself in boiling water. I like that. That's a good thing to hold with you because when you respond, so like, okay, you have control over two things in life, your thoughts and your responses to those, like
that's it.
Your thoughts and your actions, right? So you have control over these two things. If you can dial in and think about your thoughts less angry or less flustered or whatever you're facing, if you can be more towards the center, more towards yourself before you actually respond, then you have control over your life.
And that's power.
Like that's
control is power.
Real power.
Being able to like figure out what's going on in your brain, analyze it, and then act on it, that's power. Silence is power.
Yes.
Silence
and taking
is power.
time to think before you speak. That is like huge. It's huge for me right now. I'm like relearning that too because just so many reasons, but I can tend to be a hothead sometimes, and I can tend to get like defensive very easily. And so like I'm just learning to, when I'm feeling like I just want to chew someone out or like react, in some type of way, I've just been learning to just like silence is power. And then, a day, 2 days later, if I'm still feeling that way and I want to say something and get my feelings on the table, obviously I'm not going to come at them in a mean way 2 days later. I'm going to be like, hey, this made me feel like this. And like, I just wanted you to know.
You're able to talk
that,
about
like,
it
made me feel like this, So getting control over the space between stimulus and response. That's where you have the most control. That's where free will lives. That's everything, is the space between stimulus and response. And that's the main control you have in your whole life. So that's my advice to you, is just take some time in that space and do more things that bring you peace.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Find something, try new things, whatever it is. Even if it's...
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Go lay in the fucking grass. Go lay in the grass for like 10 minutes a day and feel the ground. Like something so little that seems like insignificant can change your entire day. Like,
absolutely.
I love talking with you because I just feel like we know each other really well now, but I always learn something from you, and I'm always able to, you know, like share my ideas, and we feed off of each other, and we fill each other's cup. Like I love that. Like we water each other, and I just absolutely love filming with you.
And I love you too. I'm so grateful for our friendship, and I really do feel the same way. Like I feel like our friendship came like very fast, and I don't think I've ever gotten so close to someone so quickly.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I feel like we're like best friends, and we have been friends for like a year.
If
Not
that,
even.
yeah,
we
if
like
that.
we didn't. I mean, we met like a year and a half ago, but we didn't even start being friends until like 8 months ago. Like it's so crazy.
And now we see each other every day.
And now we're just best friends.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
But it's a great relationship, and I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so glad we have like a space to have an outlet for our thoughts and time to just help other people. Hopefully, you know, the things that we've been through speak to others and help them think about their life differently and help them gain more control.
I agree. Well, stay tuned. I appreciate it.
We just did that at the same time. That was cute.